Hello, I am Colin Baker, otherwise known as the 6th incarnation of the Doctor. And you lucky people, are listening to Who Back When? A Doctor Who podcast. Keep listening, it's fun. Who Back When?
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to an extra special bonus episode of Who Back When, a Doctor Who podcast.
Or Docpast.
As you will have already heard from our special guest introducer, Colin Baker, who we met today at OxCon 2, the second
Colin Baker.
one.
Colin fucking Baker. That's all I should just call it.
Who are you?
I am Drew Back When. To my left is...
Nick, how you doing, Podcast Land?
To his left is...
Rawmeister, hello fans.
Hello, fans. The Rawbot 3000.
Of me, not the podcast.
And to his left, completing our square of quality, is...
Bonkin, hello there. Hi.
So, we went to the second edition of Oxford Comic Con.
Yes, exactly.
So good, they held it twice.
My first Oxford Comic Con, because you guys went...
We went last year as well, yeah. And Podcast Land, if you haven't heard our review of OxCon 1, check it out.
Yeah. So, who wants to start and with what? Cosplays. Let's talk cosplays.
Cosplays?
Yeah, so there was being my first Comic Con, I was expecting to see the array of cosplays and was not disappointed. What I didn't really understand is the spectrum. Like, some are like, this must have taken 1,000 hours of your life, and some people are just like, you have a t-shirt on.
Yeah.
Like, I know, like,
Some people just pin some shit to their collar.
yeah, exactly. And I didn't.
It's question marks. It is appropriate for our special guest.
And
It was
actually got-
ideal. He didn't take us seriously until he saw them.
I was quite touched that he recognised the effort.
Well, because this is a non-visual medium, can someone explain?
So in honour of Colin Baker, who was, I guess, or at least one of the guests of honour at OxCon 2, I sellotaped red question marks to my shirt lapels. That was it.
And Colin Baker was suitably impressed.
Yeah, absolutely. There were, yes, you're right, there were some fantastic cosplayers, but comparing this to year one, to OxCon 1, far fewer, right?
Yeah.
Way fewer.
Last year, crazy. There were some really elaborate ones last year as well, wasn't there?
Absolutely.
Yeah, last year there were decades of repressed tension waiting for an Oxford convention, and this year it was just like, I don't want to do that again.
Who was your favourite? Did you have a favourite?
Yeah, well, there were two Zelda characters who looked they looked so professional that I wondered if they had bought them, or if they had spent a lot of time.
Who were they?
There was a couple, I think. As in,
No,
I think...
What characters were they?
Oh, I don't know.
Blink and Zelda?
I know that they were Zelda characters because they spent a lot of time by the Zelda stuff, and the hat looked Zelda-y. I don't know. I don't want to come off as Zelda racist.
But you did.
I did, yeah.
I liked Skeletor.
Oh, Skeletor was...
Skeletor
I
was
didn't see
badass.
Skeletor.
Skeletor
so-
was everywhere.
Freaky thing, did you ever see Skeletor's face?
Yeah.
Oh, was there an actual Skeletor mask?
I have no idea.
I never saw her face.
You think
there was
just flayed her skin?
There was a woman
to cut
as...
costs.
Yeah, she no longer had a face.
Cut costs.
Yeah.
I never saw her face. And
I
that
saw
made it
her-
all the creepier.
No, I saw her face, and then I thought, oh, that's incongruous because you have a face.
You got the face.
I don't understand how you recognise Skeletor without seeing the face.
Because she's
The
like
face-
purple and
Right.
has all the Skeletor stuff on.
And the staff and
I
everything.
think
yeah.
I only would recognise the face. It's too much of a dim memory.
Fair enough.
Similar to that, at the other end of the spectrum, there was some Scooby-Doo, Scooby gangs.
yes.
running around.
2 or 3.
Yeah, and there was a Velma, and she was a fantastic Velma until she took off her glasses, and then it's just like, you're some kind of freak.
You just you just wear orange.
Yeah.
There was a very good tank girl.
Yes, there was. There was. God damn it. So there was a Rick Sanchez. Just so last year.
I don't know. There were some good ones. I mean, there were obviously the professionals doing the promo stuff
Yeah.
in there, Stormtrooper and
All
Boba
of them
Fett
Star Wars,
and-
yeah.
Apart from Judge Dredd.
Oh yeah, you're right. Two judges. There was one Dread and one female judge. Different name. Didn't see the badge.
Yeah.
The kid in the R2-D2 costume was pretty good. It was amazing.
Yeah, no, it was. I thought it was good. I thought the moxie and effort I'm always intrigued by. Well, I'm not really... Okay, this is a segue, slight segue. So, Comic-Con has this... Drew, you once described all things Japan is the ne plus ultra of all things exotic.
I
in
did say that.
BBC land. And that seems to be borne out by Comic-Con. Why is like there was like Japanese sweets and stuff and Japanese things, and it's like...
Oh, but you know that there's some overlap. Like, for all the people who are into manga and, I guess that's basically.
You can only consume manga while consuming Pocky. That's one of the rules.
Well, we see, because the interesting thing for me is that, like, all of this Japanese stuff, but it's a really specific, like you said, it's the crossover with sci-fi and games and whatever. And, like, wonder if these people ever go to Japan and they're just super disappointed that they're just, like, they're the people that are just, like, accountants and they're just grab a coffee and
no
go,
one
like,
flies or has pink hair?
And no one I mean, people obviously like all that stuff, but, like, not everyone. Like, some people are just, most people are just fucking, like,
regular people
sodding off to work and coming home and grabbing some food.
Go to rural Hokkaido, it's very disappointing.
Sorry, one last note on the cosplay thing. Very poor showing in the Doctor Who cosplay department, I thought.
So we had one.
Yeah, who worked there. There was a guy manning a stall, which wasn't a Doctor Who stall, and he was there dressed as Matt Smith, I guess.
Yeah.
Taking advantage of his body type. Tall and skinny, stick a fez on top.
Blanky chap with
Job
a fez,
done.
yeah. And that was it. I don't think I saw anyone else hooing it up.
There was actually, above being a Colin Baker appearance, I thought there was a relative dearth of Doctor. Again, I would think that Oxford, I don't know why I think this.
Because we're here and people gravitate.
That's true. Feels like a city that, or, a set of people that would really enjoy something like Doctor Who.
Yeah, well, yeah, you'd think so.
Yeah, you'd think Neil Gaiman would have a house in Summertown.
And there are some...
So what I'm trying to say
there are some legendary serials set in Oxford.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, there you are. I'm trying to appeal here now to podcast land to, like, if you have any Doctor Who wares to flog or things that you want to do, Oxford Comic-Con is right for the picking. You guys should come down and be our, And
it's only going to grow. I mean, OxCon 3 is going to be bigger than OxCon 2. Presumably.
There was more Doctor Who stuff last year, though, right?
Yeah, there was.
Maybe just because there were the talks.
Yeah, there were two specifically Who-dedicated talks. And Moldova? I don't know, whatever.
Moldova was there.
Darium Moldova, I want to say.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Blue guy.
He was there. And this time, I mean, I feel like they kind of topped it with Colin Baker. But then on top of that, there were two puppeteers, one former Dalek and one former other puppeteer guy. That was it.
So we don't have any talks
with whom we didn't even speak. No.
To go through, which was a big feature of our last episode on OxCon 1, where we got to take apart these really interesting insights that they'd given us into this, and none of that this year.
Sadly.
What was the talk we were going to go to that we sacked off?
Oh, there was Tim Rose, a.k.a. Admiral Akbar, who's also done some VFX work on Doctor Who.
A Q&A with him, basically saying, I am Tim Rose, ask what you will.
Yeah. But I enjoyed it. I liked it. Yeah. I think it's just a nice community feel. People are cool. I had to have a good time.
There was more of a commercial feel to it this time, which I wonder if...
Mostly vendors then.
Yeah, I wonder if that's a sign of success in a way. The marketplace aspect of the con has grown.
But that's the interesting, like, again, having gone to many of these sort of things, and certainly none here, what is it? Is it like a marketplace?
Much of it is, yeah.
Talk?
It's the talks that I think lure people in, and then... come for the talks, stay for the merch, that sort of thing.
Except the merch is right there in your face from, stall 1.
Yeah. Which I guess is why we didn't stick around very long today. It was, come for the baker.
Do you know it'd be good for them if they had food?
Yeah.
Yes.
They sorted out some goddamn food.
Yeah. Exactly.
They had not cherry blossom Kit Kats. Was it green tea Kit Kats?
They had some very small matcha Kit Kats, which were like a £1.50 for like a tiny thing, which is odd.
Those are nice, though.
But
sexual.
What are those melon cakes, though? We should have them.
Melon
bread. No, it was melon. But they just fucked up the end.
Oh, really?
Melon bread.
We had some these are really mellow.
Mellow cakes are very different.
I had some with some ice cream when I was in Kyoto. Yeah, it was pretty tasty. It was cool. People really like the melon bread.
Cool.
It's not even lembas bread, but whatever. Naked body art?
Yeah, I was going to go there as well.
Again, boobs. Okay.
Yeah.
There were boobs.
Yeah, like in the second
how many
room.
Comic-Cons have boobs?
Oh, they all have a lot of boobage, but in this case, they were like literally out there. Not many people in spandex, which is the traditional Comic-Con pseudo porn, but actual boobs being painted. It was very awkward.
It was slightly awkward because I was looking at some books. I was just looking at the books about the OUP stand, and then look up, and then just and I didn't mean to be here. I didn't mean to be here.
But also there were so many people just conspicuously close to the boobage when we first came in.
Because I didn't want to be part of that crowd.
No.
And
Yeah.
I'd sort of surreptitiously made myself part of that crowd. I was like, no. I've seen boobs before. I don't need to be here.
I would rather distance myself from these boobs. This is literally doing nothing positive for my character.
No. But there were a bunch of hardened Comic-Con attendees.
Did you have to say
crowding the
hardened?
Yeah.
It was slightly awkward. There's some fun games. There's some fun video games knocking about.
Yeah, you checked those out. I
yeah,
didn't check them out at all.
Yeah,
It was
you
a
got to
football
beat me at
thing.
football.
I didn't really understand that. They seemed like a very easy game. Why did it exist?
It was just because I was so bad. That's why it seemed easy. To me, it seemed impossible.
Yeah, I think the games are fun. Merch. What did we think of the merch? With the things to buy?
You bought something.
I bought 2 comics because actually the makers of this comic, Moon, seemed really cool and kind of into their stuff, and they sold it very well.
Very
and
nice
It
people.
seemed quite interesting. So I bought a couple of those, and I'm looking forward to reading those, see how that goes. We saw some Doctor Who comics on display.
I didn't catch her name, but there was a woman who had drawn a lot of covers for lots of different comics, and among them 2 Doctor Who comics.
That's cool. We should talk to her more.
Yeah, we should have.
There were more. Yeah, they were good. I really enjoyed all of the comics and the books that were out there. I didn't really get the merch, but then I'm just not that guy. Like I don't.
Yeah.
I sort of look at all that sort of stuff and say that's some stuff I could clutter up my fucking house with.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of sort of. I mean, there was a whole stall dedicated to swords.
Who are you?
Oh, and Viking drinking horns.
Viking drinking horns,
He had too
swords, and all of the Harry Potter ones.
So all I could think of with this drinking horned guy was like, you've got too much inventory. Why is there so much of this? Like,
Do we need to explain what the Viking drinking horns are? Or is that clear
it's
from
a
the...
It's an
fucking,
erection that you drink from.
yeah. It's like an animal horn that people drink out of.
Yeah.
And I remember just thinking, you need some business. Someone needed to talk to you about like supply chain management. What the fuck do you have all this stuff
Why
for?
do you think that you're going to shift all of these horns?
You've got like 100 of these horns.
Like, over a weekend in Oxford? They go, hey guys, hey, Ben, come to Oxford. There's a horn shortage. There's a
he
horn
should have
drought.
had 3 under the table and just 1 on display. Like, this is one of a kind.
Yeah, exactly. Not one of 70.
Yeah. Well, actually, there's 2 because 2 horns.
Nice.
Drew, aside from Colin Baker, what was the highlight?
Aside from Colin, was
Yeah.
there a
Shall we move straight into Colin Baker?
He's such a nice guy. He'd be okay with that.
He was so happy to
Very
chat.
accommodating.
Incredibly pleasantly surprised, I have to say, that how accommodating he was with his time.
My other annoyance, well, if I have an annoyance with Oxford Comic Con, is like, why weren't people more fucking interested in Colin Baker and all the things he had to say? I'd have talked to that man forever.
Yeah, he was sitting on his own before we came over.
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah.
the first time? We had to go back a second time because we were too starstruck the first time to actually get everything out of him we wanted.
Yeah, and ask him for the soundbite that you heard at the top of this one.
And so for the context, we asked him, sort of on our knees to go, would you mind just saying, you're
introduce yourself
you're listening to Who Back When.
We'll pay any amount of
The
money.
rest just came from the guy's heart.
Just out of nowhere. What a pro.
Yeah.
What a pro.
What a dude.
And all he asked was a donation to his dog charity.
Yeah.
Also, classy as shit.
Oh, yeah.
Classy.
Like
What a
a
man.
great big Santa unfurled his comforting wingspan and just beckoned us all in. Photo on whobackwhen.com.
I wish we'd have asked him out for a drink. I reckon he would have taken
Yeah, he
us
probably
up.
would have said yes.
But we went to the pub after that and we were just gibbering like fanboys. Colin Baker is so nice. Colin Baker is so tall.
So we have a new goal to meet all of the
doctors. Every single one of them.
live doctors.
Yeah, or visit their tombs.
And see who's the
Don't leave our graves, they have tombs.
That is dreadful.
They do shit classy on Gallifrey. What can I say?
but I think we're going to have to rank them in terms of niceness.
Yeah, sure.
So if you guys have actually ever met any of the other doctors,
Or if one of the doctors is actually listening right now.
oh yeah, let us know.
Yeah, exactly. Get in touch.
And if you're nicer than Colin
you're-
Baker,
Then wow. I mean, whoa. So we did have a quick chat with him as well, and obviously explained that we haven't quite gotten around to his serials on Who Back When
Which
yet.
he took on the chin. He wasn't
Yeah.
like, oh, fuck you guys then. What are you doing here?
You've got a whole bunch of another Baker to go, and
yeah. And then you get a breaking in more Baker.
yeah, exactly. But since we've been doing some audiobook reviews on Who Back When as well, and Colin Baker has done a ton of Big Finish audio adventures. Even if we don't get through any more audiobook reviews as per the original plan of going through the EDAs and so on and so forth, let's definitely follow Colin Baker's advice. Because the question posed to him was, where should we begin? Or is there anything else that we should specifically listen to? And he said, a good place to start is the Marian Conspiracy.
Queen Elizabeth.
That's the one.
Is the sort of marker he gave us.
Exactly. And then, after we have seen all of his serials, all of his, the full run of Colin Baker on TV as the Doctor, before moving on to the next one, we should have a break and listen to the audiobook that he very recently did about his regeneration. So let's do that.
He says it follows in seamlessly.
Exactly. I'm curious. I just want to plow through all of Classic Who just to get to this one audiobook.
What I do.
Anything else?
I would say, is there, worldwide, of all Comic-Cons, of all nerdy conventions, a classier setting than Teddy Hall?
That's the exam schools.
Oh, the exam school, sorry, yeah, across the road from Teddy Hall. Is there...
Yeah,
it was fucking beautiful.
It's quite a juxtaposition, these giant oil paintings of...
various dons, were they?
You saw one, didn't you, Drew?
I saw Kaiser Wilhelm was up there.
Oh, that looks a lot like Kaiser Wilhelm. It is Kaiser Wilhelm.
Yeah.
Wow, well done, buddy. You also spotted Peter Capaldi in one of the oil paintings.
Yes. Oh, and photo on whobackwhen.com.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I get the whole Rhodes Must Fall thing, but also Kaiser Wilhelm's up there. I mean, shit, man.
Well, that's interesting, but that's another podcast, isn't it?
Yes.
Who's worse as a human, Cecil Rhodes or Kaiser Wilhelm II?
Who will go through from this bracket?
My money's on Rhodes.
So I was just completely starstruck by Colin Baker and ended up mouthing off at one point and coming this close to offending him, except he's such a nice guy that I didn't quite make it stick. You had cognitive dissonance?
I did. I guess maybe because I haven't watched the Colin Baker episodes yet, and, we'll get there. But I just couldn't marry up the idea, I was like, I'm meeting a doctor, but I didn't... And also he doesn't, obviously time makes fools of us all, and he doesn't look like... the stills that I've seen. So, I don't know, I think when I'm going to come to retrospectively understand the significance of meeting this man post watching and reviewing all of Colin Baker, but yeah, I felt warm and fuzzy, but I don't think it was the same. As if I'd watched one of them.
Sure.
Yeah. If we'd met Troughton or something like that, it actually makes sense to me right now.
I've only seen clips of the man as the Doctor. I've not seen a full serial. But I was still just like Drew. I was just completely starstruck. It took a fair few seconds to just sort of gather my balance and go, actually, you could just have a conversation with this chap. He's just a dude. He's probably happy that someone's coming up to him and having a conversation and recognizing him and so on.
And he's met 10 billion people. He was well practiced in how to deal with us. He asked which one of us was in IT. Because you get 4 Doctor Who fans together, he says, and one of them, or 4 of them, have to be in IT.
And we said none of us, and then Leon raised his arm.
Yeah, sort of, yeah.
Just so it wasn't too awkward. And Rory went to a second Comic-Con despite not liking 99% of comic books.
Well, yeah, I like the very rare strand of comic books that aren't about either aliens or magical beings. That doesn't mean very much. Or superheroes, yes.
See, I want to know...
No, I don't like the superheroes either. Ones that aren't about superheroes, magical beings, or aliens.
So Scott Pilgrim. That's it.
Yeah, well, Scott Pilgrim sort of gets away with doing certain things because most of it's in his head. So, yeah.
Busty mythical schoolgirls?
No.
Crazy animals that fight each other in tournaments?
I mean, I don't...
That was Pokemon, right?
Yeah. Those are like the 2 other major genres of comic books that I can identify.
Pokemon or Busty Schoolgirls.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. Is that not it? That and superheroes and Scott Pilgrim.
That's fair.
Oh, and Rory's Murakami drawings.
Of course.
I'm not saying I'm a fan of my own random drawings.
We're just trying to figure out why you're here.
Because I was asked this morning, do you want to come? And I said yes. I like going to these things and seeing all like the random stuff that people have done that I've never seen before. Yeah, it's interesting.
As an artisanal fair of like people's wares, like their drawings and their ability to create and write and all that stuff, so is very... Yeah. It was inspiring. The trick is for you, I guess, is that most of that stuff is the stuff you'd consume. So, you can see the skill in it, but also... Yeah,
well, it's like we looked at the thing, it's like, oh, this looks interesting, it's about a tea shop, but there are also orcs or something. And,
it looked beautiful, and then it was like, do you like Final Fantasy? Like, no, you lost me. Shit.
Yeah. I'm sure my face just immediately turned into a black hole of blankness.
Yeah, I do find that you go up to a stall and you think, wow, this looks really original, and then you realise, they're just weaving together these 2 or 3 tropes.
Yeah.
Hey, apart from the Moonhead guys, I ain't seen that shit before.
Yeah, and even though weaving together of tropes and then very skillfully drawing it, that's a mark of talent.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I don't understand the little doll.
The bobbleheaded thingies.
Oh, I don't get that either.
I don't get that.
What are they then?
They've been hugely popular for years and years and years.
I saw
don't
them
get
initially, like years ago, and thinking, well, that'll peter out.
And it hasn't, and I don't understand.
I think it's because basically that format of a thing can be made, and there are however many characters, and like literally millions. So it's a bottomless pit of collectible, right?
But why would you want to collect that? I mean, well, whatever. I mean, people collect the weirdest shit. I collect weird shit as well.
Ones, don't want them. Do not want them.
Well, now I know what I'm getting you for Christmas.
Oh yeah, you're getting 10 from each one.
Oh my god.
The whole set of Twin Peaks.
It's strange. One day I'm going to have to clear out my dad's garage and all his motorcycle parts and mechanical tools, and our kids are just going to be throwing away these fucking bobblehead collectibles, going, what the hell did that generation do with his lives? Sorry.
That was
yeah, but they'll recognise the characters because they'll be on the 5th or 6th reboot of them, so it'll last.
Oh, a real phase 1!
Yeah, the next generation is definitely worse than us. Definitely. You met these fucking jackets, they're worse than us.
Oh, speaking of the next generation, Leon's friend Yorick took his 4-year-old daughter, 3-year-old daughter,
4-year-old, I think.
And she was having a lovely time. She got her face painted. Very kid-friendly.
Yeah. And she also went in cosplay. She was a princess.
So, yeah.
Do you want the mic?
Come on, come all ages, to OxCon 3, maybe Colin Baker again? Maybe Peter Savison this time.
Well, cool. We said this after last year's OxCon as well, and then didn't really follow through. But, I mean, there are other larger Comic-Cons. There are 2 in London coming up this
London
summer,
MCM,
I think.
right?
Yeah, MCM and Film and Comic-Con. London Film and Comic-Con.
I would like to listen to meet some of our listeners. So if anyone's going to one of these things, hit us up.
Yeah,
Who
exactly.
knows, we might be able to come too.
Absolutely.
And otherwise, well, guess we'll see you guys at the 3rd Oxford Comic Con.
And in the year between now and then, just catch up with us on Twitter and the iTunes. We are
Drew back when?
Nick Lely.
Rawmeister?
Retro Metronome.
Retro Metronome.
Yes, that's
Say it
me.
again.
I don't even know who you are anymore.
Retro Metronome. For now.
And I'm Pumpkin, you know how to spell that. Thank you so much for listening. Catch us in the next one. Until then, rock on and ciao. Kablamo! Did you enjoy the show? Then please do what the cosmos compels you to and spread the gospel of Who Back When. Tell your friends. Don't have any friends? No problemo. Tell some strangers. Like us on Facebook. That's facebook.com/Who Back When. All in one word. Are you on Google Plus? Then find us on Google Plus. That's plus Who Back When. And when you do, tell us why you're on Google Plus. Who Back When just got its very own Twitter account, no lie, so give us a follow. You guessed it, that's @WhoBackWhen, all in one word. Check us out on SoundCloud, vote us up on Reddit, listen to us on Stitcher, and head on over to our website, whobackwhen.com, where you can leave a comment, submit a review of your own, and peruse our visual index of aliens, monsters, and more, which increases in kablamos with every episode. And lastly, give us a rating and review on iTunes. Not only would it make us super chuffed, and it really, really would, but as thanks, we will transmigrate your iTunes nom de plume into the credit list of trailers for fake Doctor Who audiobooks produced by Who Back When. Have a poke around our bonus episodes to make more sense of that. That's it. Rock on and be rad and excellent to each other. Catch your earballs in our next classic Who review, new Who review, or, still funny, audio Who review. Ciao.
Who Back When?